to a new episode of WEARE757, the show. We got Jamaar Hawkins in the building. How you been, man?
Can't complain, man.
It's been a while.
Yes, sir. What, 2 years now?
Yeah,
2 years.
2 years.
Lost a lot of hair since then. Well, I have.
How's everything been going with you?
It's been good, man. Like I tell anybody, with COVID, and I know a lot of people, they disappointed and everything shut down. But like for me personally, I needed this time off because I've been like, since I started in 2014, like I've been hitting the ground running, and it's like I haven't had a chance to like really take a break. You know what I'm saying? So like COVID, it kind of hit like right at the, it kind of like the perfect time for me to where I was like, you know what, now I can take a break and kind of figure out what I really want to do with my life. And so it's pretty much like ever since March, I've been kind of doing, different things and, stuff like that. So, yeah.
And you've been like teaching. I know. How does it work with the teaching?
Well, teaching is different because I teach in Portsmouth, so we've been virtual the entire time, and they discussed us going back in February, which they changed at the last school board meeting. So we'll now be virtual the whole year. But it's just different because, like I told you when I came in here, it's like being in the house all day, and like even though we're supposed to anyway, right?
Yeah.
Unless we're at work, but it's like being in the house all day is like, you just lose touch with the outside world. So it's like there's no sports going on that like we can really go to. So as a teacher, it's like it's different, because I'm not able to like see my kids, like see them in person and kind of develop that relationship, that chemistry with them. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. Yeah.
How's it with sports? Because I know you got your own company, i64 Sports or Network.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is.
All right, so like, okay, so let's just clear that up. I know a lot of people see like the i64 Sports and i64 Network. We're actually transitioning from i64 Sports to i64 Network. So like, being that we still mostly do sports stuff, that's why you'll still see i64 Sports. But like I said, ever since March, I've been able to kind of figure out what I want to do. So it's like I know that I wanted to tell more than just sports. Like I figured that like me, I'm a content creator. Like whether that's through sports or anything else. Like so you saw me, with the Black Lives Matter stuff over the summer, and it's like that's where i64 Network comes from. So knowing also being kind of a forward thinker, like hey, I don't think sports is coming back anytime soon. At least for us to be able to get out and cover. So why not kind of start jumping to another lane? Like this is kind of the perfect time for that.
Yeah. Well, what was it like? Because I know I seen you at a lot of the Black Lives Matter stuff that was happening in 757. What was that like being there covering those events?
Honestly, like the first one, it was. You didn't know how it was going to go because that was right after George Floyd, and that was like the first one was downtown Norfolk. I was right there. I was there from the beginning. It was actually in my old neighborhood in Youngs Park. That's where I'm from Youngs Park. So once I heard that it was going to be there, I was like, I definitely got to go shoot it. Like it wasn't about sports. It wasn't about sports at that point. It was like, I'm a black man in America, and this is history. Whether you're on the right side of that history or the wrong side of it, this is history, and I want to be there to capture that. So it wasn't about i64 Sports, anything like that. It was just like me as a black man, just kind of being able to capture that moment and, trying to be a part of that. Like, but that first one, man, was intense because like I said, that was right after George Floyd. So it's like you didn't know how that was going to turn out because that was like when it was like rioting going on. And like, I remember it was at one point we was walking down Brambleton. And the police officers, who did a great job, by the way, they did a great job of, securing the event. But, who was circling the cars, the crowd was circling the cars. And there was this white lady, and she, like, kind of jumped at the police. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, right, so I'm like, oh, shit, like, fuck. But the police, like, she was staring at the police. She was, like, she kind of, like, jumped on the car, and she was staring at the police. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, this is about to go different. But it's crazy, right? This is how the community works. This is a group of people, black people, they came, was like, no, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, they weren't going to let her mess up the positive event that they created for the community. So, like, maybe about 20 minutes or so later when the rally was wrapping up, again, some stuff kind of, like, people weren't clearing the streets. And, like, the community came, and I want to say it was it wasn't Black Lives Matter 757. I think it was, like, the new Black Panther Party or something like that, and they came, and again the same thing. They was like, hey, we're not here for that, and like I said, just being a part of that one, the one in Norfolk, and then I think the one in Portsmouth was the following day, maybe 2 days later. Just being a part of that, it's like you're a part of history. Mm-hmm. So it's no longer about sports. It's just about witnessing, like I guess, like, you know, in a decade when we're talking about 2020, like what is that content going to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
History book's going to be crazy. Hopefully they don't leave it out.
I think we're at the point now, and I was talking to my boy about this. We're in the information age. Like, it's hard to hide stuff. Not even just our generation, but the kids younger than us. Mm-hmm. You know, like my interns and, you know, people younger than us. It's like they don't have a filter. Yeah. They don't have, like, you see it like every day. Like, I'm sitting here like debating with these kids I used to write about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see it like they're like this, that, and the third, but it's like they made some great points, but it's like, you know what, these kids, they don't look at it like, dang, that's Jamaar from, you know, I64, that's Deshaun from 7 City Soup Tape. They're like, no, we know exactly what you know. And it's like, the information is there. We can Google the same stuff you can Google. So, like I said, man, it's just, but being a part of that this summer, man, it was dope, man. It was dope. And being able to, because you hear a lot of people that try to flip the message, like it was violent and, you know, people was looting. And to you know what, I got footage of that. So I actually was able to show my, at the time, my mother-in-law, I was able to show her, like, look, this is, you know, what's going on. And, you know, even she was like, you know, I thought it was just a whole bunch of young people going crazy, but even, you know, she was able to see it. So it's dope, man. It was real dope.
That's what's up. Yeah. What was there other events that you covered for the network, or was that, or was it just based on that?
Actually, I don't even think that was the biggest thing I covered this summer. There was the Chick-fil-A in Portsmouth. They boycotted Chick-fil-A in Portsmouth, right? You've never heard of Chick-fil-A being boycotted. You've never heard of any Chick-fil-A probably ever being boycotted, but there was two black girls, teenagers, and they were sisters, and they felt like the man, I don't think he's called a manager, it's called something, maybe called a manager, but the store, something like that. They felt like he was discriminating against them, right? So they said that he was bringing in white people and paying them more than them and giving them better benefits and stuff like that. So along with the NAACP of Portsmouth, that chapter, they actually boycotted that Chick-fil-A. And like, I promise Deshaun, I've never seen a Chick-fil-A empty besides Sunday, right? So that was the headline when I made the video. When I, you know, put the video together, I believe it was something like I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something like that. And then it got picked up, and then Wavy picked up the story, and Channel 3 picked it up. Mm-hmm. And you know, so that was one thing I was able to film. There was a house fire out in Portsmouth off Victory Boulevard. And I work out pretty much every morning, so I go running every morning. And I happen to be working out in the park, the nature park right there, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And this person's house had just caught on fire, and I was there before the news was there. It was crazy. So I'm like, Sean, just like, imagine me, right? And you know what's even crazier? I had my camera. I don't know why I had my camera, but I had my camera. So I'm in front of nature park, and I'm just shooting footage. I got all the footage. And then Channel 3 pulls up, Channel 13 pulls up. And they're like, hey, like, did you see what happened? I'm like, yeah, I actually got the footage. But me not being a guy that wants to create that controversy, I'm like, you know what? I'll let you guys put it out first. And that wasn't the first time I've done that, because like even on the sports side, a lot of these athletes, they're my cousins some kind of way, or I know their dad or something like that. So I can get the scoop before the larger networks get it, but I allow them to, you know, to get the scoop. So
why is that?
To be honest,
like I watched a movie called Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, and like he was like selling his content to the news network. Yeah, is that something that this area can do?
Honestly, I don't know.
Because I never really seen that.
I don't know. I never tried. I probably could. I never tried. And probably because I don't want to be a news person. I've been offered positions on it. No lie, this is not to sound like a, you know, because I'm not even the kind of person. Every single network around here is trying to get me to work for them. Every single one. I have my former intern Alexis, she's at Wavy now. You know what I'm saying? Channel 13 approached me right after that fire story. Hey, come work for us. I'm good. I don't like, that's just not something I want to do. So
in front of the camera.
I just don't want to do that. I love, like, honestly, I love teaching. That's what I love doing, and I love creating content. outside of what the networks do. Because I know it's certain stuff that they can't say. And once I sign that contract, like, I just can't say, all right, well, that's for Wavy, but this is for I64. I can't do that. That's not allowed. So once I sign that contract, that's it. So that's why I've never, and honestly, the pay is like $30,000 a year. That's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's less than the pay cut from being a teacher. You know what I'm saying? So it's not worth it. Ain't worth it.
Well, where was you teaching at? Because I know I seen you coaching girls and boys.
Right.
Waters High School.
Waters
Middle School. Sorry about that. But what was that like, coaching both girls and the boys team?
So it's crazy, right? So I actually used to coach at Craddock Middle School, which is we have 3 middle schools in Portsmouth. So I used to coach at the other middle school, maybe like 10 minutes away from Waters back in 2012. I won the city championship with them. So I used to coach the girls over there. I won the city championship with them in girls basketball, boys volleyball, and track, right? So I won 3 city championships my first year of coaching middle school. But then I left. I got into it with a principal. It's funny, it's a long story. I got into it with, and I know that was like, oh, you always get into it with somebody, but I got into it with the principal, but it wasn't where I did anything wrong. It was actually, she took over from my mother-in-law, and she had a personal vendetta with my mother-in-law, so she wanted to clear out all the teachers that was with her and get her own thing. So me, I left before she did all that. But anyway, so this year, I was going through a lot of personal stuff, right? Like I said before we got on camera, like my life really changed in 2020. So it was some things that I needed to get back to Jamaar. Like for a long time, I was the Jamaar that was the sports guy, but I wasn't a Jamaar that I needed to be. I was the Jamaar that the area needed to be. Like they needed me to be the guy that was the guy beside the Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they needed me to be at all the events, but that wasn't genuinely making me happy. So, you know, I got back into teaching, which is something I had kind of stepped away from for a second. And I saw the job posting about Waters girls being open. Now, mind you, this is middle school basketball, so if a job is open around, like in the school year, nobody's going to take the job. So that was my thinking anyway. So I interviewed for the job, and they were like, we got all these candidates. They could have been lying, but the principal was like, you know, we got a lot of candidates, blah, 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 blah. So she was like, what's different about you? And I was like, you see them, this is funny. I probably sound like an asshole when I say this, right? So I was like, you see them roll of trophies, them plaques that y'all got in the office. And I was like, she was like, yeah. And I was like, when the first year that started? She was like, 2013. I said, you know why I started in 2013? Because I was beating y'all ass before then. Straight like that. So she was like, and I love, shout out Dr. Fur, that's my girl now, but she was like, oh, okay, you got a lot of confidence. And I even brought my daughter with me to the interview. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, she's like, you got a lot of confidence. So they ended up happening. This is a long, crazy story. They called back the 2 finalists, me and another person. And we both had to coach the trial. I didn't know that. I thought I had a job. So when they called me, I'm like, okay, I'm the coach. So, but when I showed up for the trial, they told me that both of us, we wasn't picked. We were just the finalists. So what ended up happening was, like, I just kind of took control of the trial, and that person became my assistant. She just kind of like, you know what, you know more about this than me, you're a better coach than me, should I just be your assistant? And we just worked it out that way. So long story short, I was coaching the girls at first, which the girls, man, middle school, anybody that's coached middle school girls basketball can tell you, you might got 1 or 2 girls that actually play basketball. Everybody else might be a cheerleader, playing the band. I had, like, honestly, I had girls that would play for me and then cheer for the boys' game. I had girls that were doing orchestra. Like, I had girls that were like, I had 2 or 3 girls that were really basketball players out of 9 that came out for trials. 9 girls came out for trials out of the whole school. I had 9 girls came out for trials. Couldn't cut nobody, obviously. Right? So, like I said, you know, I love coaching the girls. Like, I love coaching the girls, and starting the season, I was only coaching the girls. But around the Christmas time, you know, the boys, they ended up wanting me to coach them as well. You know, they got into it with their first coach, and they were kind of like, you know, Coach Hawkins, we want you to coach us too. You know, so that's a lot. Like, you know, because really think on that. That's a lot, coaching the boys and the girls. So
a lot of time away from your family.
That's a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the most important thing.
And when I get back to that aspect, I get back to that too. So I took the job right after the Christmas tournament. Right after Christmas, I took the job. I was coaching the girls and the boys. So I think the girls, we had lost one game before then. The boys, they had lost twice during the Christmas tournament. And then the girls, like I said, we lost again right after the Christmas break, and then neither of the teams lost. And obviously, we won the city championships with both of them. But the just going back on it, man. When I think about it, like the girls, I really enjoy coaching the girls because you really see the improvement from girls that don't know how to play basketball to we won the city championship by like 24 points. Like it wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying? And that same Churchton team beat us the first game of the season. They beat us again right after Christmas. You know, and then see those girls like to see Jada. Jada had 24 points. She outscored them by herself. Like to see her really take that next step forward. To see my girls that weren't even talking now, you know, they communicate on the floor. That was excellent. The boys, just being real, I mean, you was at the game, you filmed the game, like that shit, I mean, your son could have coached them probably and they could have won, but even with them, it was more like, all right, let's win the right way, guys. Let's not go out there and that's because we can beat them by 40, let's just start doing stupid stuff. You know, that was the part of, you know, like coaching Carmelo and Jamal, it was like, okay, guys, y'all are better than these kids, but let's start working on stuff to get ready for JV, the high school level. So with Carmelo, you know, I'm just getting all away from what you asked me, but
you're good.
With Melo, I actually moved him to the point. I was like, hey, you need to start handling the ball. Like, Melo, if I want you to go out here and get 30, you can do that with your eyes closed. Like, you're the best scorer around here. But that's not what we need. That's not what you need to develop. You had to start handling the ball. So, you know, of course, me and his dad, you know, we got together and that's what we started working on to where, like, now he's more of a lead guard. So when Melo gets to high school, Melo is going to be like a James Harden type of player to where he can handle the ball, but he can shoot. And you're not going to be able to check him. You ain't gonna be, he already bigger than a lot of guards. So that's where, like, on the middle school level, and like I said, going back to coaching the girls and the boys, it was like, it was such a joy to me. But mainly the girls. And I love my boys. You know, I love them. They still follow me on. They're going to probably see this and be mad. Some of them going to be mad. But it just with the girls, it was just so much more rewarding. It was so much more rewarding. You just seen
more growth, I guess. It's especially like, only playing two schools.
Two schools. And then, but really, it wasn't even playing those schools. When my girls hit it was the Christmas tournament. So the Christmas tournament was really when they got to see how good or bad they were, and I got to see how good or bad I was as a coach. Because I had never coached outside of coaching the Portsmouth schools. We didn't, like, when I first coached at Craddock, we didn't play the Chesapeake schools. The Christmas tournament wasn't there anymore. It wasn't a thing. So that's when I was like, okay, you know what, I can kind of gauge how I am as a coach too. So we won, I don't know who we beat. We won the first game. Then we lost to Great Bridge. And I got pissed, like, because that was the game I felt like I let them down. Like, I didn't make the adjustments I needed to make at all. I didn't, like, Great Bridge had one girl and I let her kill her. Like, she had one girl. And also, I let my best player get frustrated by that one girl. I should have, you did a better job of that. So, but going back to the girls, we was playing Hickory that next day. And we were down 10 at the half. And Coach Hall and Jamaar are two different people. Like, people that play for me and the people that, like, see me, there's two different people. So when we got in the locker room, I didn't even let my daughter, I always let my daughter go in. I didn't even let my daughter go in. I made her wait in the hallway. Man, I cussed them girls out so bad, and I just walked out. So when we got back after halftime, I seen the switch turn for them. And since from there on out, I saw it. Like, I saw them. Like, now when I see Jada, I saw Jada over the summer. She was at the Dream Chasers event, and she got MVP of that. She's playing with Boo. Addison's playing with Boo. I'm like, you know what? That, like, I see it. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all see it. So it just, that's where the reward comes in coaching, like, on the middle school level, is that you see the growth, and you know what I'm saying? That was amazing. It was really amazing.
What was it? I know you said the boys was a coach, but what was it like at those? I know Portsmouth games, because Portsmouth's so small, it's always gonna be a lot of people at the games.
And there's only one side.
But going to those middle school games, the boys games, you see so much media there trying to show Melo and Jamal. What was that like? Like controlling that? Because I was there, slam, overtime. Like,
that James crazy. I think he was there for a couple. It was crazy, man. It was so dope, but it's like honestly, I loved it. I did I ain't gonna lie, I did like it because like it was one like you'll know like. And first of all, who's gonna win every game by 30? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So you know, it's gonna look good, man. But like, it wasn't any pressure or anything. Like, you know, it's middle school we talking about, bro. Like these kids, they gonna play high school, college, some might go pro. It's middle school. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no pressure, but it's dope. I ain't gonna lie, like it's dope. Like when I go to because I coach at the middle school, so when I go to the elementary school where I teach at. The kids are like, Mr. Hawkins, I seen you on Slam or I seen you on such and such. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, I seen you on such, you know what I'm saying? So that ain't dope, but like I can only imagine like for if I was in middle school, and this is where I give Maul and Melo so much credit. If I was in 7th grade and I had all of these media outlets coming to my games, what kind of an asshole would I be? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And those guys. Other than the typical kid stuff, like they really handled it well. Like they handled it well. They, especially Melo, you know, because playing with somebody like Maul gets a lot of attention. You know, deservedly so. He gets a lot of attention. But Melo is a very skilled player, and he could be selfish if he wanted to, but he wasn't like that for us. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope, man. It was one time like, and this is the difference between me and the other coach. He didn't like the attention, you know. But you know, like I used to tell him, you need to enjoy it because when will this ever happen for us again? Like,
I know that was gonna be one. I know because everybody said so they'll be playing this one middle school season and then they're gonna play
JV. But see, we had it to where we were still gonna get an opportunity. We were gonna play. LeBron's son, the youngest son, we were supposed to play them up in D.C. For the Mid-Atlantic, the middle school showcase. We were supposed to play them or
that'd be crazy.
It's either them or Pullen, Thomas Pullen. They were on a KD documentary, but we were going to play one of those schools. So, like I said, when you got kids like that, though, you don't limit them. You don't, hey, we're just going to play this. We're going, no, man. We had an event at Norcom. Like, I enjoyed all of it. Just like
that was nice.
Even with the girls, like I don't know when I have another Jada. You know what I'm saying? Like those kind of kids don't come through Portsmouth so often. I live in Portsmouth. I teach there. I've been teaching there since 2011. The only time I've seen a guard like Jada, and I've seen the Knox girl that was at Norcom. I coached against the Knox girl who was at Norcom. I coached against John A. Cox when she was at Churchton Middle School. She put up 30 on us. John A. Cox that was at Wilson. Like I've coached against all these kids. I haven't had a girl like Jada since 2011 when I first started. So it's like we embraced everything that these kids did last year. You know what I'm saying? And the principal, like I said, Dr. Furby, that's my girl. She did everything for us. She got new uniforms. We got new uniforms like during the middle of the season.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? Like people was like, oh, y'all just yeah, we got because that was her. She got us new warm up suits. Like I said, they really took care of us. It was dope. Like that experience was dope last year.
One question about that team: would y'all have beat Salem Middle School?
Yeah, we beat the place like that. And this ain't no like
Salem was good though.
This ain't no
pretty good.
But I know those kids. Like I know those kids.
I would say they had more players that could go, but y'all had.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah. My starting 5 can go. All right, put it like this. We
like
go.
Number three.
Caleb, right?
Yeah,
Caleb Wilson.
He get he don't get enough attention, but he was balling.
This is the thing though, Sean. All right, we played Hugo, right? This was supposed to be the game. Everybody was like, oh, Hugo gonna beat y'all. Hugo, great team. Again, my starting 5 outscored them alone. Just my starting 5. Mm-hmm. You could have took away. Maul had 36. You could have took away Maul 36, and we still would have outscored them just with my starting 5. The thing was, when you have 2 dominant players, like, you look at the Nets right now. You got Harden, you got KD. Nobody really seeing how good Joe Harris is, or the guy Spencer Dinwiddie. You know, guys off the bench. You're not because they don't really get the chance to show that. You didn't see how good Karis LeVert is, but you'll see it if hopefully, you know, God willing, if he gets a chance to play with the Pacers, you'll get to see it. My kids, but going back to Salem, Salem has a good team. I know those kids. I've seen those kids since they were like in 4th grade. They can't. My kids were different last year. Those kids were different.
I just felt like they played more years together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes chemistry does do that, but at the end of the day, talent is talent.
Yeah.
Like, talent is talent, and we just had talent last year.
You can't teach what 6'8".
You can't teach that, and you can't teach. See, Maul 6'4", but Maul Maul got skill, and Maul got a dog in him. You don't really see that with middle school kids, and people say, oh, reclass kid, whatever. I had a kid on my team that was older than Maul, and he played nothing like Maul, like nothing like Maul. I had a kid when I was at Craddock that was older than Maul, nothing like that. That's natural. You ain't coach that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no. Like I said, I don't want to down talk nobody else program, but we talking about best. Like once I took that job, nobody would have beat us. It was different. Like it's different. It's the same with my girls. It's confidence. It's stuff that you instill in those kids. That's now we know we can play with anybody. That's it.
It definitely wasn't talk on Twitter though.
I know it was talking on Facebook. Look, see the thing was on Facebook it was Hugo. That was the conversation. Can we be Hugo? And again, I don't want to talk about anybody kids because I cover a lot of those kids and they're good kids, but there's a difference when you talk about kids that were just like Maul and Mello was bred for that from the time they was in third. You cover Mello when he's in the 3rd grade. Yeah. They were bred for that. Yeah. They're bred to play basketball. These kids that work out all day, every day. Those kids that sell them ain't doing that.
I still tell everybody this. No one likes basketball more than Mello.
Come on, man.
Every time I talk to Mello family.
In the gym.
In the gym.
No question. We have
in the gym.
Practice, hour and a half. So we do individual workouts. Another hour after practice. Him, my daughter, Jada. But Mello, they leading the group. Mello, Gene, they're leading the group. That kid got to work ethic. Like people talk all they want. Like just being keeping it a buck. People talk about him, he don't deserve the attention and blah 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 blah. How many kids do you really see? And we talk about middle school, high school, whatever. How many kids got a work ethic like that? Where they're always in the gym. It ain't many. So he gets what he deserves to get. He works for that. And that's the part about this area that I really hate is the adults. They really down talk the kids like for no reason. It's sad, man. It's sad because like you'll see a kid get an offer, 8th grade or early, whatever. But it ain't no real offer, blah, 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 blah. But let a kid from their team get off. Oh, they hype the kid up. All right, what's the difference? Like, why is his offer not real, but your offer real?
Yeah, it's definitely where I am. Like, me being originally from New York, like, when I was, like, in that age group, like, middle school, hooping, like, my friends would be like, you ain't better than my homie Daddy. Like, they wouldn't even talk about themselves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard about you. Yeah, my boy Cam told me about you, too. Yeah, I heard about you, too.
They be like, you ain't better than my boy Daddy. Like, it'd be crazy, but
yeah,
it's just a different, I don't know, it's a different mentality out here, but I don't know.
What do you think is the biggest difference between, like, New York and VA?
Like, New York support each other, no matter where you're from. Even though, like, the boroughs go at each other, like, on the court, they don't be, like, downplaying each other. Like, if somebody is on the big screen, like, let's say the kid that's in Mellow Gray, what's his name?
Oh, Mel
Thomas? Yeah, Mel Thomas. Don't people love Mel Thomas out there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even the kid, the 2 kids, the Jelly Fan kids, even though they're not on the big screen no more, or not saying they're not on the big screen because they still play NCAA basketball, but everybody not talking about them like they was when they was in high school.
Right.
Still. Right. They still support them fully. Like, they got Jelly Day in New York, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, when Nike came out with the shoes that had the jelly on it, they got those banned. Like, Nike couldn't come out with them because of it, because they couldn't get paid from it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was just so much stuff. But New York support each other. Like, to the full.
I think with VA, because it's small and it's not a lot of really high-level talent here. Like, I used to get an argument with this with people all the time. Like, man, this guy go to such. I was like, you might get named 1, 2, 3 guys. They go to high level school. And I'm not even just talking about basketball. We go football too. I'm talking about like Power 5, where you talk about a Cam Thomas at a LSU. But even still, like Cam Thomas is a great scorer, but a guy like that should be at a Duke. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Cam Thomas from North Carolina,
I thought that it was on purpose though.
Yeah, and it's working out.
I mean, I felt like his situation is completely different because he was the best scorer. He is the best scorer. He went to Oak Hill, the best scorer. EYBL, the best scorer, and still get robbed at McDonald's.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think it was more of his personality. People don't like his personality, but he has that Kobe mentality.
He's a basketball player.
Yes,
I heard somebody on CBS saying this. Like
he plays basketball.
They was like the kid eats basketball, and like from us being from this area, we already know that. Like we already know what he's about, so they ain't no surprise. But
I remember when I was covering. Sorry, I remember I was covering. Boo was playing Team Loaded at the Boo
Southern Jam Fest.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah,
and
I remember that.
You know, I'm covering. You know, I was filming for Team Loaded at the time. Shout out to them. I was filming for them, and I was filming a huddle. Then I look over to Cam and Cam team. Cam like this. That Tom Brady, bro. He like this. And Boo, all the other kids from Boo, they like, you know, getting ready for the game. He like this.
He ready.
Ready, bro. And then on the court, you see what he do.
Yeah, Cam is official. I love players like that, but it sucks in this area. It's just so much hate, man. I wish it wasn't, and that's why I said like back in March. That's why I just needed that break because I just got tired of it. Like you just because when you in it. And I'm not in it like where I'm talking about people, but like when people's like trying to funnel stuff through you, and it's like, bro, I don't care about none of that, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? You just get tired of it, and it wasn't fun no more. It wasn't fun. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely feel you on that.
It just wasn't, man. It's like
it get oversaturated a lot.
It does, and it's like I said, like you know, the last time I was here. Everybody hated me after that damn show last time, but I don't think I said nothing wrong. I think I said it the wrong way. I think I said it with the wrong kind of energy. I don't really think I said something wrong, and you know, like I don't have any beef with anybody. You know, like I said, we talked at the sports center. He's like, you hate? And I was like, I don't hate nobody. Like I said, I think what I said was right, but I think I said it in the wrong energy, and you know, I definitely, like I said. I want to apologize, like as a man, and I was just real as a man, just because that's not even where I am as a person no more. You know, I don't want to harbor any hate or bad feelings because that's not who I am, and you know what I'm saying. It's just I do think us as black creators and sports people, I do think we face issues that white people don't face, and you know what I'm saying. But I don't think I should have, like I said it like that or said anybody's name or you know anything like that. Just you know, that was immature, and I definitely shouldn't have did that. So, you know, and matter of fact, I say his name like Jack, I definitely apologize to you because, you know, that was immature as far as, you know, bringing, you know, his name. And I think maybe I say Andrew's name too, but like I said, that was immature as me as a person. And like those guys do great stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want it to be like any kind of tension because I do want us in Virginia and to support each other. Like I see North Carolina, they got a Hoop State Network and that shit is dope. Like I wish we could have something like that, you know, to where we cover a game together. Like, you know, you got the video, I write the article, or somebody take the picture and it's all us together. So like that would be dope. And so, like I said, I don't want to carry that energy. Like, you know, that's negative energy, and I don't want to be that. But like I said, I think it, like, you know, I mean, shit, you in it, you know, like. When you go to a game, you go to a game dressed like that, like you work for.
I don't let it faze me though, you know, because in the hindsight of it, it's only hurting the kids that you don't get to, you know, put on your platform. So
it sucks though. Like this year,
but I don't like to explain myself to stuff that's not gonna matter to me. So like the, you know, when I had the situation at one school and the AD was mad that we was on the baseline filming the game. Yeah. And I write that on Twitter, and then people hit me back. I'm not gonna respond. I don't care. But I mean, you can call my phone and I'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go back and forth with anybody. That's just not me as a person because I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? People that know me. and that I care to know, you know, to build relationships with.
Right.
I'll talk to them on the phone,
Right.
and we built the relationship, and I don't think it will happen anymore. But if it do, I'm just gonna say so. I'm not gonna, because people ask me all the time, why you don't come to our game? Why you don't come to our game? A lot of kids want me to come to their game, but it's not your decision. You know, to be honest, it's your coaches, and then above your coaches, your AD and your principal. Because they can say no. I've been told no plenty of times, and then I just be like, hey, I'm not there because of this. Just want to let y'all know.
The pilot, they should have get paid. That's how I used to work for the pilot. Bro, I used to go to a game, no lie. I'd sit through the game, take the stats and all that. And I had to write like a paragraph and get paid for that. Like one paragraph. Like I can write a 1,000-word article now for free. But they get paid, so that's another reason. Like we don't get paid to go to these games. Like, you know, it takes time. But then even when you go to the game, you gotta come home, you gotta edit, you got kids you gotta deal with, you know, you gotta deal with your family. And that's why I said, you know, with the family thing is doing what we doing, shit, that shit can make or break you. Like, it really can. And, like, my situation changed a lot. Like, when I first started, married, kid, well, I had one kid, you know, then I had a second kid, you know, then going through a separation, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, I've been going through that, a divorce for, like, past year now, almost a year and a half. So, it's like, when you doing this, what I realized that you gotta find that balance. You have to find a balance, and when I first started, I didn't have it. I was like, shit, I'm trying to wreck shit.
I was the same way. I was at every game. They was like, it's multiple of y'all? Nah, bro,
just me. Right. So it's like, right. And you tell me, they like, just because it's 7 cities, like, no, that's really just him. Like, I64 is really just me. Like, yeah, people help sometimes, but it's really just us at the end of the day. So, but yeah, going back, you gotta have that balance, and I didn't do a great job at that. And you know, now, like, so I'm in a much better place. I'm in a much better place now. But you know, I would, if I was to turn back, you know, about 2 years ago, you know, I would have been able to now kind of slow down a little bit and kind of. Because really, when you get, I don't really say I made a bad decision, but it's like I said, when you're trying to get started, you at this place, you this there, you know, trying to do this, you know, you're trying to make a little money, and you know, because you want this to pay off, so you're trying to get, you know, make some money off it too. But shit, that shit fucked me up, bro. Like, no, and that's real talk, bro. Like, you know, I lost my family. Like, I really lost my, like, I'm going from seeing my kids wake up every morning to now talking to them through FaceTime, man. That shit's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit is real different.
I don't think a lot of people understand all of that. That's wild. Sorry to hear that too.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, at the end of the day, bro, like, I'm not the first guy that will lose his family chasing his dream, and I'm not gonna be the last person. But I want to be the person that kind of give that advice. Like, make sure you find that balance, because you know, at the end of the day, once you lose it, you ain't getting it back.
So when you was coaching at Waters, both of the teams, you was still doing the media as well?
I really wasn't. See, that's when I had people that kind of helped me. So I kind of had, you know, I had a few interns that helped me. But if you really go back and look at it, I kind of took last season off. I didn't really do anything last season until the regionals. I didn't really do. See, that's when I was, like I said, that's when I was going through my personal stuff. So, you know, I wasn't really trying to be around anybody. I was, you know, I was in a bad place. So, like, coaching, going back to coaching, that really helped me, because, you know, I was excited about the game again. It was like, it wasn't just, man, I gotta go to this game, write this damn article, talk to me. Like, and I love that too, but that's a job. Like, coaching, that was enjoyable, and I knew that. I saw a picture of me. We won the third place game at the Chesapeake tournament, and I saw a picture of me after the game. I was like, damn, I haven't smiled like that in like 2 years, bro. Like, and that's crazy when you can see in the picture, like, that was the last time I smiled. Like, I'm doing something wrong here. You know what I'm saying? So, again, that's when i64 Sports became, you know what, I need to do some other shit, because this ain't gonna be it for my whole, I can't continue this my whole life.
Yeah, so I know you say you worked at a company to make money to write your one paragraph, and to do it i64. sports network yourself and the right stuff for free. Like, what's the biggest difference to you?
I think it's creativity, like being able to create what I want. You know, because like when I was with the Virginia Pilot, and you know, I definitely thank them for the opportunity, but I wasn't like formulating any stories. It was like they'd just take the stats and take a quote or two that I get, and then they'd make a story like that. So with this, I'm able to do what I want, but I also get all the backlash, and so like when I wrote an article about a apprentice school, you know, director of athletics, and you know, I didn't mind at all, but I had James McAdoo. He messaged me. He was like, he went off, and I'm looking at my phone like, James, you must don't know me, bro. I'm really looking like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I am the person that owns the company. So whether I wrote the article or not, that's who the backlash was going to come to anyway. So I think we talked for a little bit, but yeah, the best thing about this is just being able to do what you want and people actually respecting your opinion. There's a lot of people that write blogs and podcasts and stuff like that, but how many people actually respect your opinion enough to, when they wake up in the morning, I'm going to check your website or I'm going to check your Instagram, whatever, to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
I think the hardest thing is just trying to find ways to monetize what we do.
Exactly.
Because there's so much time that we do put in it. Just being able to, even if it's something, minimum wage,
right?
It would add up because you do have another job, but
right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you will want your writing.
There you go.
So you don't have to teach, but yeah, I think that's been my hardest thing. That's why I don't do a lot of mixes as I used to. Like every night, I mean, sometimes them things take 3 hours to make.
Exactly.
And I'm just after the game, so I'll put the raw highlights up.
Right.
But
that's why I say it just goes to like, in the future, like, what do you want your path for you to be? Like, you know, do you want to just, you know what, I'm not thinking about mix. Like, that's cool, it's cool and all that, but like I said, like, do I want to start doing original stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? To where, okay, if I'm gonna make it for free, at least maybe I make a movie or something like that a short film or something that can catch something. Like, if I keep doing these mixes, or, you know, like I said, if I just keep doing post-game recap, like, where is that really gonna get me to like where I want to do in the future? So I think, like, of course, everybody has a place, so I won't, you know, like, ever say anything doesn't matter, but it's like, you just kind of got to decide, like, you know, where do you know what I'm saying, what are you trying to, like, if you want to work for the news, then you would have to start interviewing people. I know a lot of people, they don't, like, it's different, like, when you just shooting, and then when you got to actually, you know, speak to people, like, I don't really like being in front of the camera, you know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised I'm doing this. But I've got a lot of feedback to be like, no, bro, you be interviewing some alright people. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean,
right, you do, and it's like you just never know until you step out there. You just step out there. So, but yeah, I enjoy I enjoy the media. I really enjoy doing media. I enjoy telling people stories. I enjoy seeing the kids come from when they're younger to, you know, they're in high school, and like I said, I seen a kid like Jaden Epps. I seen him first time he was in the 6th grade. You know, and it's like, you knew Jaden Epps was going to be Jaden Epps when he was in the 6th grade. It was like, no question, he was tough in the 6th grade. But, you know, you see a kid like Malik Newton. This is crazy. Jaden, Malik Newton, LaShawn Lee, Jelani Dart, they all play on the same middle school basketball team. Of course, they ain't losing nobody. Actually, I think they did. I think they lost to Lamarion James and Lake Teller. I think they lost to them 1 year. But, okay, you see a kid like Malik Newton, who, you know, he did his thing on the basketball court, but he ends up being a 2-time Tile Water Player of the Year in football. But I saw him in the 7th grade. That's dope. Like, that's the dope thing about what we do to me anyway.
Yeah, I think just seeing the kids go to college, man, and just able to get away from here and enjoying college. Because college, even though I felt like it don't help now, it could, just that experience and that networking may get you far.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I still talk to my college friends. Like,
me too.
I still talk to my college friends. We do stuff together. So you're definitely right about that. But like I said, like you said, it's different. I think it's different as far as the route to college. Because you got guys going G League now. It's a little different now. Like, so many different routes. You can go overseas. You know, it's just like a kid like Cam, right? Like Cam, next year, like, what is he gonna do after this year?
Cam is out of here, 100%. Especially if they have a tournament and he does what he's doing in the tournament, he's out of here.
You think out of here?
Yes.
True. Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks what happened to Keontae too, because I think he would.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about him. Yeah, because he definitely was gonna be out of here too. And I know you was. I mean, you've been covering him. He's from Norfolk, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you when you seen that news? How did that make you feel? Because I was like, what the?
So it's actually crazy, right? All right, so he's from Norview. He played with my nephew. His freshman year, he played with my nephew at Norview. The year they went to the state championship game and lost to Henrico, he was with them that year. So my mom actually knows his mom, and his mom and dad, they went to school together. So my mom actually called and told me, it was like, you heard about that boy from Norview? I'm like, no. I'm not thinking she's talking about Keontae. You know, he went to IMG, Oak Hill. So I'm not thinking she's talking about Keontae. So I get on Twitter and, you know, everybody's talking about it. I'm like, man, this is crazy. But I'm just glad he's all right, man. It's like, not even just like the basketball side for real, because like I had COVID, bro, like, and I still don't breathe right. And I know this for a fact because I run every single day. So I remember around my birthday, and I had a long time ago, by the way.
You good?
I just had a test like last week. I got my test results.
I had to take a test too. So you good.
But I know when I got it, of course I couldn't taste anything, I couldn't smell anything. But I know ever since then my breathing has, like, I can't run over 3 miles anymore. And I used to run 4 or 5. I used to, like, you look on Twitter, like doing before I caught COVID, I was like churning out the miles. But now I can't even walk up the stairs without getting like shortness of breath or whatever. So when I heard about it happening to him, first of all, just being real, I got scared because I know that I had it. I'm like, damn, like, I'm still active, I still work out, like, every day, so, like, could that happen to me? And then, like I said, even more so from a sports thing, like, this is a young man, like, 19 years old, 20, whatever, it's like this is rough. It's rough, so I'm just glad he's okay, but...
Did they officially say it was COVID, or did they say it was something?
They didn't say it was COVID, but they said he had COVID in the summer, and then that's what comes from COVID. So, but you're right. I don't think they ever like officially diagnosed it.
I feel like if they said it was COVID, they wouldn't be playing.
They wouldn't be playing right now. I think like,
especially with someone that looks as healthy as Keontae.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I also think they need their money. They missed last year's tournament. They need that money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's like business. You gotta look at it as a business. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think they would say it until they probably
after the season or something. Yeah, probably after the season, something like that. So, but yeah, it's tough, man. You know, but I'm glad Ray good. I remember when before we called him Keontae, we was calling him Marikis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when he was at Norview, it was like Marikis. Man, he was a shooter.
He was this young. I didn't know he was that young.
Bro, it's crazy. At Norview, he was a shooter. Like he wasn't.
I remember him and Will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What, Stegers?
Well, that was his second. I think it was his sophomore year. Freshman year, that was Lamont Stewart and Davon Brown. Who was at Gene Wesleyan. Like I said, that was the year they lost to Henrico in the state championship. Man, Henrico went crazy on them. No, listen. That Henrico team. That was up there with them Norcom teams. That was like, was it Travis Fields' team, like Travis Ingram. That Henrico team was tough. Like DeMonte. Listen, this kid did I want to say a 360 or a windmill or something like that, like in the first quarter. Everybody was like, bro, everybody was like, that's it, don't worry about it. And that was like the first state tournament that I covered. So being able, like I said, my mom and dad graduated from Norview, so the first tournament that I covered, that was the first time Norview played in the state championship since like 1950. Like that was the first time since like 1950, something like that. So, but yeah, I'm glad he good.
What? How do you feel about I know you don't do the Winter Hoops classes. That was like your thing. I know
it was gonna come back this year too. It was gonna come back this year.
So how'd you start doing that, and what made you want to bring it back?
So
it wasn't gonna be back in this area, because I know before you said you was taking it to DC.
Yeah, it was gonna be back in this area. So the reason I started doing it, it actually started from a football event that I was doing. It was the I think it was I think we called it the Futures Bowl, something like that. So me and another guy who will remain nameless because he know if you hate him to this day for other reasons, but we had got together and kind of came up with the idea for the public versus private school tournament. So actually our first tournament, it was like all public versus private school, stuff like the first girls matchup. The rest of them were public versus private school. So that's what we came up with the idea. The reason why it was at Norby because like that's where my parents graduated from. The first one was actually on my mom's birthday. So, you know, to tie everything together. And it was always a tribute to my brother. My older brother was killed on my 18th birthday. So it was always a tribute to him as far as happening at Norfolk School. So, but eventually I did move it around. But coming back this year, I had actually talked to a college coaching buddy of mine who I can't name because he really ain't supposed to be a part of the event, but he wanted to do it, so it was actually going to be an all-girls event this year. We was going to have some top girls teams playing.
Need somebody to play against PA, man.
Listen, there won't be nobody local, but
Catholic is okay.
Catholic.
You seen
Kate? Listen, I don't need to see her. She probably is nice. She's probably nice because you know what I did? I saw her from what was the thing that you shot? I did see that. I think she hit like what 30 that game or something.
She tough.
Yeah, she hit. But listen, you talking about PA?
Yeah.
PA got Isaiah James. The first time I saw Isaiah James, she had a triple-double in our Futures game. Let me tell you who was in the Futures game.
I was there.
No, you won at the first one.
I won at the first one.
You won at the first
one.
one.
So this one, the one at
This one was that kicker team.
Oh,
I the one Atlanta Shores.
Yeah. No, I was there at
Atlanta Shores. No, Norfolk Christian. That was the All-Star Classic. Okay, the Futures Classic was the first middle school event we did, right? So, Zaya James, J.J. Quinterly from Lake Teller, Jordan Poole from Lake Teller, Jaysha Clinton. All the best girls you can name right now, they all played in that event, right? Like I said, she had a triple-double, a 30-point triple-double. That was the first time I seen her play. That was the first time.
She made that left hand look so smooth.
And again, it's about coaching. Like, their mentality. Everybody that goes to Princess Anne expects to win. Every single body. Soraya Griffin is at Princess Anne right now, right? Soraya played in she played in the Futures Classic too when she was in the 4th grade. She was already bred to be a Princess Anne kind of kid from the time she was in 4th, 5th grade.
I bet she was. She won 3 middle school championships.
Listen, come on, man. Listen, that's what I'm saying. So you think a kid like that is gonna just go from winning 3 city championships in a row, the PA to lose to somebody? That ain't happening.
Yeah, I was in a gym yesterday. I was in a gym yesterday looking at the advantage like, damn, they won that many in a row. It's like 11 championships.
That ain't happening, bro. I remember the year that Maury was supposed to beat them when they had Shanette Hicks. Maury beat them like 3 times in the regular season. PA just could not beat them, bro. Region finals came, region semifinals, whatever. PA had them by like 19. Where did those you get this from? But it's the culture. Those kids expect to win. It is the culture that you set there, bro. So, yeah, going back to what we was talking about, we was gonna do it all girls, and that's really what I'm gonna start focusing on. Really, the girls. The girls don't get any kind of attention other than PA, and it's sad because for one, the girls actually have grades. The girls actually have grades, and they're really talented. But it's like unless you play for that, those elite programs, a lot of those kids, a lot of girl size, even more so than the boys, a lot of girls, they really just slip between the cracks. So, we was really gonna start focusing on them. Yeah,
I was supposed to be focusing on Kate at Catholic and then PA, of course.
Yeah.
But Catholic wasn't really having people at their school at that time. But I think coming up, they starting to let media in.
But that season done now, right?
I think they still got a few more games left. Shit, they've been playing since basketball season was supposed to start.
And see, that's what I was telling, my guy, we was talking yesterday, and he was like, would you put your daughter in private school? And I was like, absolutely. Like, if she becomes a prospect, to where she's like, okay, where she's able to kind of dictate to me what school she want to go to. And, I would definitely put her in a private school situation. We get to play 30-plus games, and, that's great. Like, public school, like, look at right now. You got a kid like a Jaden who Jaden should be playing on the national schedule. And it's nothing that, you know, he, of course, is with COVID, but if he was at a private school, it wouldn't even matter. And like I said, I'm not saying his parents should or nothing like that. Like, you know, because like coming into the season, you wouldn't even be able to, like you wouldn't even have thought that, like, you wouldn't get to play a season, but like me, that's why I would, from the start, I think I would put my daughter in private school.
From the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I heard there were rumors that Harry was supposed to go to Catholic and he was supposed to be with AJ playing together.
Oh yeah, like
AJ
a couple years ago.
To Granby.
Yeah, like a couple years ago. That would have been. I would love to see that. But yeah, I hope. Hopefully, I was a junior. Hopefully, he comes back next year to where we get to see him again. But because a talent like that, man, you don't get to see talent like that.
No, yeah.
You don't get to see talent like that all the time. I hate it. I hate like I said, I hate not being able to really see that this year. And even like Kanye leaving, like I hated to see Kanye leave. That was a great move for him, but like
Kanye felt like they ain't love him here though.
It's, you know what?
I felt like he felt that.
You know, it's crazy because if you really look at that 2022 class, Deshaun, that's probably the best class around here.
Yes, they
like
are great.
hands down. Like, and you know what? Just the point guards. You got Ye, Jaden, Donovan. You got DJ from Kickerton. You got so many, and I know I'm forgetting some kids.
Giles.
King. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot King. That's my guy. But it's so, that's what I'm saying. It's so many of those kids. Shit, Cam Edmonds. Cam Edmonds. I used to work with his mom at Crowd.
Yeah, Cam Kearney. Yeah.
Man, listen, it's so many kids like you can name, but listen. I had Ye, Jaden, all them at the USA, so I seen them up close and personal. Ye is just like Chase Coleman. Ye will be a coach one day. Whenever he don't want to play no more, he's gonna be a coach. And he might end up taking over for Kofor, like down the line. He's like, I'm telling you, like Kanye is a point guard's guard. Like he is a point guard. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, like I hated seeing Ye leave. But of course, kids, you definitely got to do what's best for you. Definitely do what's best for you.
So I know you was coaching at Portsmouth. What'd you think about Wilson crazy come up last year with Khalil? I mean, they won the state championship. James. Yeah, I forgot James.
James played with us. Yep. This is funny. Nasir was one of my former students at Douglas Park. The first year I started teaching at Douglas Park, right? So I'm looking. This is so funny. I'm looking at a graduation ceremony. I was a guest speaker there. And I'm looking at the graduating 6th grade class in Portsmouth Elementary School, 6th grade. 6th grade is elementary school. And Nasir was the first name on the list. And it was a game I was covering. I said, Nasir, you remember this? And I showed it to him. But I've seen them come up from their JV days when Coach Andrews first got the JV job. They played him in one of my events. And I was like, yo, bro, like, you really got something here. But at the time, like, people like, Wilson, I'm like, no, I'm telling you, man, like, Wilson got something. Like I was always in their corner from the start. I had them ranked like 4th in one of my polls, and people was like, Wilson. I'm like, bro, listen, I'm telling you, like, these kids can play. So to see them come up, I'm not surprised. It was just they finally, I think adding Mike Smith, that was like that was the a big move too. So he can shoot. He opens things up for James and Nasir and Khalil. He opened things up for them. So. Yeah, that was. I wish they could have played Kings 4 again. I wish they could have played them again. Kings 4 would probably won. Because I mean, it's just me. I'm just whoever got the best player. That's 9 out of 10. I just feel like that's how sports work. The best player is usually gonna win when it comes down to something like that. I don't really pick against LeBron or Tom. Like, I don't. I just like if you beat them, cool like this. But I don't pick against like Tom Brady. Like I don't pick against people like that. They're winners. You don't pick against winners. So. But yeah, I love Wilson, man. Let me take that back. I don't got Norco now, but I love what Andrews and them are doing at Wilson, and I actually hope that they can keep him over there. Cause it might get to a point where, I mean, because you just never know. Because when people like that, he turned Wilson.
It's still about getting the kids, yeah. Because he's not from here.
No, he's from Richmond. He's from Hopewell.
He's from up there.
Yeah, he's from Hopewell, so he's not even from here. So, but yeah, I mean. I was at the middle school level last year, so I know what's coming to high school, and Norcom got some stuff coming. They got some stuff coming.
So what's your plans for I64?
With i64, man, what I want to create is kind of like a BET. That's pretty much what I create, to where we're releasing original stuff or maybe other people's stuff and just giving them a platform. I don't want to, and that's why I say that was another part of me being immature, and that lane, that's not my lane. That's their lane. Mm-hmm. They're good at what they do, but that's not, that was me trying to force my way into that lane. You know, and that's not really my thing. I know what I want to do, and that's kind of why I've taken a step back to kind of, you know what, I want to create more of a network. I want to create, and that's, like I said, that's where i64Network comes from too, that I want to show, you know, a political thing. I want to touch on this, that, and the third, but if all people see me is this guy that talks about sports or this guy that works with kids, that's kind of impossible to do. So we talked about doing a singing competition. We talked about doing different, like America's The Voice or something like that. We talked about doing that. It was funny because it was going to be called The Voices of Hampton Roads, but then of course Pharrell and Netflix came out with the Voices of Fire or something like that. So I ain't want to make it seem like I was biting off. Yeah. I mean, that's Pharrell. You talking Pharrell, bro? Like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm biting off Pharrell. So you know, we just kind of put it on the back burner for a little bit. But over this next year, you'll start to see, oh, this is what Jamaar was talking about, this original piece, or we got a show, you know, coming up called The Kitchen, where we'll have people that coming in, and I have a chef that, she works at Sweet 1200, but she'll come in and cook, and then, you know, the person will come in and they'll have their own segment. So just little stuff like that, man. That's pretty much all I want to do, man. I don't want to be like, you ain't gonna see me at a lot of high school games and stuff like that no more. It's just not what I'm gonna do. I'll still do events to where helping kids get exposure, you know, stuff like that. But I just realized that's not really what I want to do long term. That's not. I don't want to be like. And Larry is my guy. Don't get it twisted. Larry's my guy. I'm talking about like we go out to eat and all that. But I don't want to be Larry Rabone. I don't want to be that in 20 years. I don't want to.
Yeah, he used to write about me. When I was like,
you feel me?
Him and Matt.
Right, and like I said, those guys are great. Yeah. That's their lane. They're great at what they do. You're great at what you do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to step in nobody's lane. I want to continue to help people where I can, and you know what I'm saying, just be able to tell people's story. I was actually working on a documentary about the off season during COVID, and I let my personal stuff kill that. You know what I'm saying? But it was about kids that had lost their last senior season due to COVID.
Nah, that would have been good. Like I was like when I followed Oscar Smith and Church in 1 year, I was gonna follow another school this year, and I was trying to get preseason interviews with them, but they was telling me that their district was telling them not to talk about it, so they couldn't even do the interviews. So I was like, dang.
Yeah, like, and I got into some shit like that before, where I'm getting news before other people, and they putting out statements like this is false, and then the next day it comes out. Bro, just let me. And that's another reason when you say why I don't do it. That's another reason why I don't really break news anymore, because it got to a point where it's like, why you put that out? Or, bro, like I know people, like you know people. Like, just keep it real, Deshaun. I heard back in April that there wasn't gonna be any sports. I've been heard this, so I'm putting out a little tidbit. Oh no, you wrong. You like, bro? I know people on the national level too. Like I work Nike camps. I work this. I know people too. And then it comes out. No, y'all already made the decision. The decision doesn't come from the VHSL. All they control is the state tournaments. That's it. They don't control whether the Beach District, the Eastern District, none of these schools. They don't control any of that stuff. That's what people fail to realize. The VHSL, all they said was, look, if y'all have a season, this is what you should do. Or this is going to be how the postseason is going to be. But it's not, okay, you cancel your season. You cancel your season. They already knew, you know, they knew. And I don't want to make this political, right? But you think about this. Once the Democrats came in office, you had to know that everything was going to be shut down. So people was been talking about.
I just don't understand how it's going to be a state tournament.
It's not going to be a state tournament.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a regional tournament.
It's eight teams. Well, it's 11 schools in the Beach District.
But they can't play out the conference games.
Yeah, and they all in different And they all in different classes.
And they can't play out of conference games anyway, so it doesn't matter. They cause
like,
the beach put out
canceled it.
Right, because the beach didn't they put it out that they couldn't play any out of district games anyway.
I think that was for everybody. That's why everybody was like, well, we only got 3 schools. We got 2. Like,
see, and that's what I think. That's what Portsmouth. I think that's what we were trying to do, but I know that we at Norcom we had stopped first. Like we had one trial date with the girls, and then one practice date, and then that was it. They was like, no, I can't do anything else. I think Churchland was still trying to go, and they shut them down like a couple days later. But we were all supposed to play like Western Branch, like the first week of the season. I think Churchland was supposed to play them first, and then we were supposed to play them. It was like a home and home type of thing, and it just could never work it out. But like I said, I hear since April it wasn't going to be any sports here. People can say what they want to, but nothing I was told changed at all since April. Like. And that's why you saw a lot of those high-profile kids that transferred out. Like, oh, they didn't wait around. Like, those kids didn't wait around. Why do you think they didn't wait around? They already knew. Like, they already knew this stuff wasn't gonna happen. So,
thanks. Well, wanted to ask you, what do you think about the Virginia Beach Sports Center that just came?
Man, that jank is.
Because that jank would have been big this summer.
It is dope, but it is not made for basketball.
You don't think so?
It's made for it's made for AAU basketball. It's not made for like as far as because like when people's like it could be an NBA.
No,
not at all. That's I know you've never been in there. It's like AAU, yes, but it's really made for track. The track is beautiful.
Yeah, I saw this.
Man, it's amazing. I went in there. Actually, it's on my phone. I want to say like maybe 3 weeks before we're supposed to open. I think it's supposed to open like October 1st, November 1st, something like that. I got to tour it like maybe a couple weeks before, and it was just dope. I hope people. I'm waiting to see it to where it's actually filled up, cause like they had the Virginia Showcase track me there last weekend, and man, that shit would have been filled like that. Jay would have been crazy. It's dope. Like it's dope. I know they're trying to make it like the top track on the East Coast if it's not already. So it's dope, man. Do you think that Norfolk could do something like that, or like I guess Norfolk?
I just don't know where.
They would have. It had to be military, like that area right there.
Oh, your military service.
Maybe Suffolk could.
Yeah.
But who the hell would go to Suffolk?
I just think that Virginia Beach is the perfect place because a lot of tourists go there. Mm-hmm. All the hotels is right there. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the kids, like with the big tournaments and families, can stay down there. Yeah. Unlike Boo, no disrespect to Boo, love Boo. Yeah. But it ain't a lot to do there. Yeah, once the games is over.
But you got to get in or something. Hey, look, that ain't funny. Boy, they see that they will cut your privileges.
Bro, nah. I don't got no problem with none of them over there.
Because they talk you pay. Look, they're like, look, we'll make you pay anyway.
Shit. They charge me every time I go in there. Well, they charge
me. We'll give you a band. We'll still give you a band. Look, it's crazy. People don't know what we deal with, bro. Like, it's people like
they want to drive to Richmond. What? Yeah, we got a game tomorrow. You can't drive to Richmond. No, I'm not going to Richmond for free.
Oh, that oh, you can ride with us. You don't want to ride with you to Florida? It's like, come on, man. I ride with you to Florida. So for what? What do I get out of that? Ride with you all the way down the country, and it's like me, bro. I could never. That's why I always used to tell people I don't do mixtape because I don't want you to call me every weekend. Like, can you? I don't want you to call me.
Yeah, I would definitely turn down stuff, and you know, I'll be telling people like it's not guaranteed it's gonna be on my page because a lot of people just they clout chasing instead of actually being good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like it's hard. Do I go get this bread, this easy money, or do I actually go show the kid that's going for free that's actually gonna perform? You know what I'm saying?
Go get them.
But you gotta deal. But you gotta deal with it. So it's a balance. It's a balance.
Yeah, that's true. You're right, man. But
it's hard. It's a hard balance.
That's why I say you gotta kind of decide like what lane you want to go down. Because if you want to get the money, you're gonna be courting a lot of bad basketball. But when you record it, they expect it to go on your page. No, I will send it to you.
That's what I do.
I'll send it to you. That's what I do. Like I don't really. If I do something for somebody, I might not even put like my logo on it or nothing. Cause like another thing is once people start liking you, they won't support what you do. So now I get to a point where like if I have an event or whatever, I know I can't have everything in my name or like stuff like that. It's just that's just the nature of the business. It is. I mean, it is what it is. It's just like that. I mean,
it shouldn't be, but
it's been like.
I don't understand.
Once Nike and Adidas are competitors, you know, it's like they're not. And that's you can look. I guess you can look at it like that. But I know, right? But I know that everybody doesn't look at it like that. And I don't. It is what it is.
Because how many football people I get hit me up? Hey, I don't film football, but beyond the ball, that's my she good. She nice.
Right.
Go hit her up.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
All the time. Yeah, hey, I can't make it this weekend, but my man Matt. Hey. I don't know if he gonna do it, but he has beef on the Newport News side.
My guy, Kick It to Coach Campbell, DJ's dad. He was like, when you come, listen, you know where I live at?
I know.
And I love y'all. You might get like
traffic,
they gotta drive back home. Like I said, I need to get to them because DJ is my guy. He played with us 757.
He's tough. He's tough.
You know what's crazy? He was like our fourth string point guard. But he just had a great attitude. But he was younger than them too. He was a little younger than those guys too. But he just had a great attitude. And since then, like his dad talk all the time, and like I see him like, "What's up?" But like, it's good kid. Man.
No, he's tough. He's tough.
2022s, man. Like that's the best class I've seen in a long time. Like
wow. And since you've been in this industry, last question, what's been like your most like the best experience you had so far being in this industry, just doing the media for the kid?
I'm always go back to being the only person that interviewed Michael Vick the day he had his camp. That's always gonna be my favorite memory because he wasn't letting anybody do interviews. This was like right at Michael Vick post dog fight, so before he had a chance to resurrect his career. And I don't want to say he had a hatred for the media, but you could tell it was that tension there. So it was at his camp. My first year with recruit, it was his camp, and he was like, "I'm gonna give you the interview." Fucking God. Bro, my hands was like so fucking sweaty. I'm like, "Yo, I'm about to interview Michael Vick." So I'm calling my girl. I'm like, "I don't even know where to ask this dude. Like, I don't know where to ask him, bro. Like, what am I supposed to ask him? I can't ask about the fucking dogs." What am I supposed to ask him? So she was like, "You already got an interview. Just it's kind of like when you got a date with a girl. Like, just don't fuck it up." You know what I'm saying? So, but that was my favorite memory. Like, and I think the first one was classic. The first one, because like I said, that was the one that was like the memory of my brother, and that was on my mom's birthday, and that was the first big event I did. And I just remember when I went home, no lie, I hope I don't sound too soft, I just started busting out crying. Like you remember that part, I love this movie, Pursuit of Happiness, at the end, when he just went in the fucking street and he was like, that's how that felt for me. It was like, you know what, since I was 8 years old, this is what I wanted to do, and I finally did it. But then that next morning, it was like, damn, what's next? Like, I don't know if you ever got to that point, like, you ever thought
events, but they've been like more for
the community events, dope though, but that's dope, and that's
anxiety. So crazy the day before.
That is exactly, but see
when it's over, he's like.
But that was dope, and Frank, my guy Frank, I went to St. Paul's with Big Frank. No, man, I think he played in the first one. I think he played in the first the game y'all had. Was that last
Ball
year?
for a cause.
Yeah. With the outdoor game. That was doing.
You talking about College Park Day?
Yeah. See that, but that's good stuff, man. Listen, I would much rather do that, have anxiety from doing that, than let's say you're doing a tournament, and the bill is like $3,000 before the event. Yeah. So you looking like, I gotta sell how many tickets? So you just like counting every person that come in the door. And then you get to like that sixth game is like, I broke even, now I can relax. You don't want that kind of anxiety. You don't want that kind of anxiety. And one thing else I also want to comment on, this Kyrie Irving situation, right? I've never like been first because he came from Duke. I don't like nobody come from Duke. I'm a Carolina fan. I don't really like people come from Duke. But what I think needs to happen especially with these younger players, is that us as the media, we have to allow these people, these young players, to really express themselves and not in a way that we're used to. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the thing with Kyrie is that, like, because we've never really seen somebody that's a superstar that's really trying to find themselves during that time. Because it's always been like, man, this person weird, this person crazy, but man, he's like 25, 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, these are kids we're dealing with. And to be real, Deshaun, it's going to get, I'm not going to say worse, but the sensitive stuff they try to put on him, these kids are coming up, they're going to be a lot more vocal. They're going to be just like that. They're going to be just like that. So it's like, I think, like, as the media, I think we have to kind of, like, not be so, well, not really you, because you don't really do you don't really do interviews, but I think, like, I wish you would. I think you would do a good job.
Well, that's why I like doing the behind the scenes, so you could get to know the kid's personality. Yeah, and you know what I'm saying, like, besides
because you got to tell their story.
Yeah,
you have to
I'd rather hear their story than just what do you think about scoring 3 threes? You know what I'm saying?
Because that helps, and that, like I said, that goes back to what I was saying is that we can't keep painting these kids as like weird or they're sensitive, and like no, they're just like they're finding themselves. And I love, like, listen, I love it. Like Kyrie can say the earth is flat, whatever, cool, whatever, it is what it is. But I love that he's not scared to be himself. Yeah. And I wish, like, I don't think LeBron is himself. I think he's a corporate guy. I wish he would just be himself. Now I take it back. Because now LeBron is like, he's come to shit talking all that. But I wish that all the players were like that. Like, the same way when KD go back with it, like, yeah, do that. Like, well, you a human being. Mm-hmm. Be a human being. And like I said, that's the part that I had lost, like, chasing this. And I hope, and I encourage nobody else to, like, do like I did, as far as just, it's either one way or that's it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that person. Be a balanced person. And like I said, no, everything's for a bigger cause. Like I said, I love what you do. Like I really love. Like I love seeing stuff like that, like your college park day, and you know, I love seeing stuff like that. That's what we need. That's what we need to use our cameras for and our influence for. It's like. It's just for stuff like that, because people respect. That's what people respect us from. It's like, all right, that's 7 City Soup tape. But when you show that you this human being, then kids coming behind you, they gonna do the same thing. So maybe what's my guy from Salem? I love him to Northfleet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Jonathan Northfleet. Maybe he'll do a day, or Chase Coleman. I love Chase Coleman too, man.
Chase the GOAT already.
Chase,
you already know that.
He's a great kid, and he's a great kid, man. I interviewed Chase, like, I think that was my first podcast. I interviewed Chase, him and Keandre Lambert, and just the way he talks, and you can see it. Like, and Chase is gonna be a high level coach. He's gonna be a high level coach.
He changed it up so quick too, yeah. Because he was on the back. I didn't interview him, but he commented a lot when I interviewed AJ Epps. Okay. And he was there. Yeah. And he definitely talk well. He present himself well too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Let me ask you this question before we get out of here. What do you think, as the media, what do you think we could do from a personal standpoint to kind of improve what these kids? I guess the platform for these kids. Like, what could we really do? And I'm not saying like from the pilot, because we know what, like, traditional media outlets, they're going to do what they do. We know what they're going to do, but what can people like us do to help these kids out?
I think you just gotta do what we do, but it gotta be at every game, every single game. But not just the news. Nobody watch the news. I mean, I don't know when the last time. I don't. It's not even
beside the day, right?
Yeah, I don't know when the last time a kid posted a news clipping from a newspaper or a news story on their social media sites. Parents included, you know what I'm saying? They don't post that. They post what we post because that's more intriguing to coaches. Right. Like, the coaches don't care about what the news say about, you know what I'm saying? So I think really just coming together and just really But a lot of people, I don't feel like a lot of people would do that because they don't understand. There's not a lot of money in it, but people need it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if you go on NCAA jobs and look up and try to do one of these jobs, $25,000.
There you go.
Unless you you know what I'm saying, the AD of video.
You better have another job.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not a lot of money in it, but everybody wants it. So it's like it's like a big dilemma. It's very hard. So that's why you got to put your price tag on yourself. That's why, like, you know what I'm saying? But
you know, I met so many people like, if I work for you, how much? Like, hey, slow down. The best thing I can do for you, get you in this game for free, more than likely. Other than that, I said, really, you're gonna have to do that stuff on your own. Like, unless you're just that good, where I feel like I need you. Yeah, I will take out my personal money, but other than that, you're gonna have to create your own.
See, that's what I was doing. Like, if I couldn't be at a certain game, but I needed that game too, I just pay them out of my personal pocket. Yeah, but.
I ain't about to do that too many times either because I ain't getting paid. Like I ain't getting paid for it. So.
But that's why I post a lot of stuff on YouTube because I mean YouTube you can actually monetize your work. You know what I'm saying? Right. But once you reach their goals or whatever. Right. But on Instagram, I mean I get most of my views on Instagram, but that's not you can't monetize it unless you pay unless someone is paying to make that video. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I posted 3 videos a day. That's what's posted 3 videos, two the full highlight games on YouTube. 5 videos. Right. And I posted them today. The game was yesterday. Right. You know what I'm saying? But for free. I did all of that for free.
Hey, you get a 2-3 day turnaround.
I was up to 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
no sir. Nah, I ain't probably like listen.
But I don't like getting backed up. Yeah. Because what? Yeah. I had this today. I had a photo shoot earlier. Okay. Tomorrow I got another game, supposed to be going to another game. Friday is another game. Okay. Saturday, AAU season. Gotcha. Sunday, boo. You know, I mean, it's a never ending. Basketball season never ends.
See, that's the part I don't miss. I'm telling you, like, people tell me, like, don't you miss covering sport? No, listen, I don't miss covering sport. I miss coaching. I miss coaching. I don't miss covering having to get off of work and then having to race, don't even get to go home or don't get to eat or nothing. I got to race to this game. I don't miss that. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't miss it, man. I don't. They don't feed you a high school game. I get fed at college game. I don't miss that. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm not even in a rush to cover no high school this year. I'm not. I'm not.
They do. They definitely do feed you well at college.
What? Listen. I covered Virginia Tech spring game one year. Cam was there. ODU, oh yeah, ODU. Oh yeah, yes sir. Yes sir. ODU. You did ODU football yet?
Nah, I'm not a football guy. I'm basketball, bro.
You got to. Listen, I don't care. Do ODU football.
I go to the game. I mean, I go to the game.
You go to the press box. Oh shoot, I forgot. Hey, shout out my Push family too, man. You know I'm team Push now. So.
Oh, for real?
Yes sir. 4th grade team. I got a 4th grade team. So when you said that loaded, I almost corrected. Like, man, we ain't even loaded.
Well, that was at that time. But yeah, they always been good to me. Shit, I travel with them all the time. Yeah, they always bless me. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind doing anything for them. They always look out.
That's what's up. Yeah, I heard about you from TJ, Cam's son.
Oh yeah.
That's my point guard.
Oh yeah. That's a funny dude, man.
I went to high school with Cam.
Yeah. Oh, for real.
Yeah, I went to high school.
Yeah, I was in college with Cam.
That's what's up.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming out, taking your time out. You know,
man, no problem. No problem. And I had to come with better energy this time. Like last time, you did a good. No, you did your journalist thing last. I'm not gonna hold you. Like you did a great job, but like I said, I know that I was in a different space in my life at that time, and it was kind of like that. I ain't gonna say I was venting, but it was like I just had that thing. Like, I was so Norfolk back then. Mm-hmm. I was a Norfolk, like I was ready for smoke back then. Like I was ready to fight people back then. But now, like I said, that was just immaturity. I ain't about that. I hope that we can come together like Hoop State and put something together, you know, one day. So. Hopefully, everybody that hated me last time because look, we're gonna be at the same places and stuff like that. And I don't want to be no attention. We're grown men, man. So all us got family and stuff like that, you know. So you know, it's all good. But appreciate the platform. You can follow me on what's my Instagram? I don't even know. Follow us on Instagram, i64Network. You can find us on Twitter, i64Network as well. And just look out for some content over this next year. We're gonna have some dope stuff coming out, man. And, you It's gonna be different. Like it's gonna be different. The Jamaar that y'all seen in the past, I can tell you, wholeheartedly ain't gonna be the same moving forward. Hopefully you don't be disappointed because it might be love. I mean, it is what it is, but I think it's just time for me to just show who I really am as a person.
I see new faces every time I go to the games all the time. So
all the time. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna think.
People don't even know who I am.
Shit, I wish it was like that for me.
They don't even know who I am. They walk right past me all the time.
Hey, bro.
They just know the content. That's all.
Listen,
and I love it. I love it.
One thing about it, bro. I'm a star out here. Like.
You gotta eat too much smoke. That's why you want too much smoke.
Well, I think not even that. It's just I didn't realize like I said I've seen a lot of these kids like really grow up, and I'm really from Norfolk. Like, how many people in the media really like they really cover where they're from like we do? Larry's from Ohio. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't try to make his name where he's from. I don't know where Matt is from. I heard like Smithfield or something like that, but I don't know for sure where he's from. But we're the ones that are trying to make our name where we're from. That's tough. So I mean, get done though. But good luck to you. Hold it down. Get them stats right for us.
You won't get no stats from me. I'll tell you that. That ain't my job.
Appreciate you, man.
All day.